We had the opportunity to use the LG V30 for several days ahead of its launch in Berlin this week, and one question we wanted to answer during this time was how good is the V30 compared to the LG G6? Is the V30 LG's real 2017 flagship? Is it worth shelling out for the V30 if you already own the relatively new LG G6? Let's take a look in our LG V30 vs LG G6 comparison. LG V30 vs LG G6, Design. First off, let's talk size, and we have to give it to LG here for making the 6-inch V30 a few grams lighter than the 5.7-inch G6. Gone is the bulkiness of the V20. At 158 grams, the V30 is incredibly light for a 6-inch device, and it also feels very light and thin, thanks to the rounded edges of the screen and the glass back. Whereas the LG V30's sides are curved and smooth, the G6 has an edginess to it that you may or may not enjoy personally. The flat edges definitely make it grippier, which is not a bad quality to have on a glass-made phone. Both phones feature the curved screen corners that have come into fashion this year, but the G6 feels much flatter compared to the V30. Indeed, the V30 looks and feels a bit like the Galaxy S8 Plus, even if it doesn't have the curved edges of the Samsung flagship. As you'd expect, the V30 and the G6 share some design similarities. The dual cameras and the circular fingerprint sensor stand out on the back, and the V30 features the same shiny glass construction as the G6. Even if it's not fully metallic anymore, the V30 is said to be highly resilient to shocks, as the phone is certified to the MIL STD810G standard. Still, drop it at your own risk. LG V30 vs LG G6, Specs and Features. Both phones have 18:9 full vision displays, which make them much more portable than their diagonal size would otherwise suggest. The underlying technology is different however, as LG switched from LCD to plastic-based OLED on the V30. That's a first for LG's flagship lineup, if you don't count the G Flex experiment. Go in depth. What's the difference between POLED and AMOLED? OLED is the future of high-end smartphones, and LG has poured billions into R&D and manufacturing facilities to catch up with Samsung. The switch offers clear benefits on the LG V30, which is brighter than the G6 and also features a slightly more pleasant color balance. While the difference between the LCD G6 and the OLED V30 is not jarring, the traditional strengths of OLED shine through, with better contrast and a more vibrant color palette. While the G6 was somehow behind the curve in the specs department, due to the use of a Snapdragon 821